Hello friends, in this session let us go through some sample programs to familiarize on hash defined statements, see preprocessor macros, register variables, enumeration and command line parameters. Let us see this program. Study the use of hash defined statement in C. The C preprocessor is not a part of the compiler, but is a separate step in the compilation process and is just a text substitution tool. It instructs the compiler to do required preprocessing before the actual compilation. The preprocessor commands begin with a hash symbol. Hash define is used to substitute a preprocessor macro. Let us see a sample program using hash define directive. Let us see the algorithm first. Step 1, start. Step 2, define height to 100 using hash define. Step 3, define number to 3.14 using hash define. Step 4, define letter to A using hash define. Step 5, define letter sequence to A, B, C using hash define. Step 6, define backslash to question mark using hash define. Step 7, in the main function display the height. Step 8, in the main function display the number. Step 9, in the main function display the letter. Step 10, in the main function display the letter sequence. Step 11, in the main function display the backslash. Step 12, stop. We shall implement this algorithm as a C program. Let us first type this program. Hash define stdio.h, hash define height 100, hash define number 3.14, hash define letter capital A, hash define letter sequence A, B, C, hash define backslash char, then question mark. Then start the main function void main within curly brace printf value of height percentage d comma height, printf value of number percentage f comma number, printf value of letter percentage c comma letter, printf value of letter sequence percentage s comma letter sequence, printf value of backslash char percentage c comma backslash char. Now, close the curly brace. The directive hash define height 100 tells to replace the instances of height with 100. Similarly, the directive hash define number 3.14 tells to replace the instances of number with 3.14. The directive hash define letter A replaces the instances of letter with capital A. The directive hash define letter sequence A, B, C and the directive hash define backslash char replaces the instances of letter sequence with the A, B, C and the instances of backslash char with question mark respectively. Let us now compile this program. Since there is no error, you can just execute this program and see the result. The output will be value of height 100, value of number 3.140000 and value of letter A, value of letter sequence A, B, C, value of backslash char question mark. Now, let us move to the next program. Study the use of macros in C. C defines a number of macros. Although each one is available for use in programming, the predefined macros should not be directly modified. Let us see some of the predefined macros in C. We shall first see the algorithm. Step 1, start. Step 2, display the file name. Step 3, display the current date. Step 4, display the current time. Step 5, display the current line number. Step 6, display weather of ANSI standard. Step 7, stop. We can see the implementation of this algorithm as a C program. Let us first type this program. Hash include stdio.h, then main within curly brace printf file %s comma file printf date %s comma date printf time %s comma time printf line %d comma line printf ANSI %d comma stdc, then close the curly brace. The explanation of each of the macros used in the above program is given as shown in the table. Date. The current date is a character literal in MMM, DD, YY, YY format. Then time, the current time as character literal in HH, MM, SS format. File, this contains the current file name as a string literal. Line, this contains the current line number as a decimal constant. STDC, defined as 1 when the compiler complies with the ANSI standard. Let us first save this program in file prog.c, then try to compile and execute for results. You can see the output as file prog.c date. Here you can see the current date and time, you can see the system time here, then line, the current position of line number, then ANSI standard. Now, let us move to the next program to illustrate the user defined macros. In the previous example, we illustrated the use and working of built-in macros. Now, let us consider another example for user defined macros. Let us start with the algorithm. Step 1, start. Step 2, create a macro to find the maximum of 2 given numbers. Step 3, initialize 2 variables, read the numbers. Step 4, use the macro definition to find the maximum of 2 values. Step 5, display the maximum value. Step 6, stop. Let us see the program for the corresponding algorithm. Let us type this program, hash include stdio.h, hash define max x comma y, then x greater than y question mark x colon y. Then the main function void main within curly brace int a comma b CLR SCR, then printf enter 2 values scanf %d comma ampersand sign a comma ampersand sign b, then printf the maximum of 2 numbers is percentage d comma max a b, then get ch, then close the curly brace. The program begins with main function, but before the main function we create the macro max and use conditional operator to find the maximum of given two numbers. Inside the main function we create two variable, say a and b. In the next level of the program we read two values for the a and b from the user. In the last stage we invoke the max macro and pass the two values given by the user. Finally, the program prints the greatest number among the user input. Now, let us compile this program and execute it. Now, you can see the result. Here the system prompt for enter two values. Suppose you enter 20 and 30, the output will be the maximum of two numbers is 30. Now, let us move to the next program to study the use of register variables in C. A register keyword is used to define local variable. Here the local variables are stored in registers instead of RAM. As a variable is stored in register, the maximum size of variable equal to maximum size of register. The unary operator ampersand sign is not associated with it, because the value is not stored in RAM, instead it is stored in the register. This method is generally used for faster access, commonly used as counters. The initial values of the register variables will be a garbage value. The life of a register variable is limited to the block in which the variable is declared. We shall first see the algorithm of a sample program on register variables. Step 1, start. Step 2, declare two integer variables num1 and num2. Step 3, declare a register variable to store the sum of num1 and num2. Step 4, enter the values of num1 and num2. Step 5, calculate the sum of num1 and num2. Step 6, display the result. Step 7, stop. Now, let us type this program. Hash include stdio.h, int main within curly brace int num1 num2, register int sum, printf enter the number 1, scanf percentage d comma ampersand sign num1, printf enter the number 2, scanf percentage d comma ampersand sign num2, sum equal to num1 plus num2, printf sum of numbers percentage d comma sum, return 0 and close the curly brace. In this program we have declared two variables num1 and num2. These two variables are stored in the RAM. Another variable is declared which is stored in register variable. Register variables are stored in the register of the microprocessor. Thus, memory access will be faster than other variables. Let us now compile this program, and since there is no error, you can execute this program and see the result. The system prompt for enter the number 1. Suppose you enter 5, system prompt for enter the number 2, you are entering 8, then output will be sum of numbers 13. Now, let us move to the next program to study the use of bitwise operators. In the theoretical session, we already familiarized the fundamentals of bitwise operators. In this session, we are again going to execute a small program which shall practically explain how the operators behave on a particular set of input. So, let us see the algorithm first. Step 1, start. Step 2, initialize 3 variables a, b and c. Step 3, assign values into the 2 variables a and b. Step 4, display the bitwise AND operation of a and b. Step 5, display the bitwise OR operation of a and b. Step 6, display the bitwise XOR operation of a and b, and step 7, display the bitwise NOT. Step 8, display the left shift operation of a by 2 bits. Step 9, display the right shift operation of a by 2 bits. Step 10, stop. Let us now type this program. Hash include stdio.h, main within curly brace, int a equal to 60, then int b equal to 13, int c equal to 0, then c equal to a ampersand sign b. Printf line 1, value of c is percentage d comma c, then c equal to a or b. Then printf line 2, value of c is percentage d comma c, then c equal to a XOR b. Printf line 3, value of c is percentage d comma c, then c equal to not a. Printf line 4, value of c is percentage d comma c, then c equal to a left shift 2. Printf line 5, value of c is percentage d comma c, then c equal to a right shift 2. Then printf line 6, value of c is percentage d comma c. Now, close the curly brace. Let us now compile this program and then execute and see the output. Line 1, value of c is 12, line 2, value of c is 61, line 3, value of c is 49, line 4, value of c is minus 61, line 5, value of c is 240, and line 6, value of c is 15. This program begins with the main function having 3 variables a, b and c. We assign the values a is equal to 60, b equal to 13 and c equal to 0. In the first level, we perform bitwise AND operator, which returns 1 at the corresponding positions of a and b, where both the bits are 1. That is, a equal to 60, you can see the binary of this, then b equal to 13 and you see the binary of 13. Therefore, c equal to a and b equal to the binary of a and b, then the value will be 12. Similarly, you can see c equal to AND OR b, c equal to AND XOR b, c equal to not a, c equal to a left shift 2 and c equal to a right shift 2, and the value will be 15. Now, let us move to the next program to study the use of enumerated data type in C. The enum type specifier is short for the enumerated data. The user can define a fixed set of words that a variable of type enum can take as its value. The words are assigned integer values by the compiler so that code can compare the enum variables. Consider the given algorithm for example. Step 1, start. Step 2, define the enumeration direction with the values north, south, east and west. Step 3, declare the enumeration variable in the main function. Step 4, switch the enumeration variable for different cases of direction. Step 5, display each case of direction in switch case. Step 6, stop. Now, let us type this program. Hash include stdio.h, then declare the enumerated variable enum dir ctn, then within curly brace north equal to 1, east, south, west, then close the curly brace semicolon. Now, declare the main function int main within curly brace enum dir ctn x, then int ch, then printf which way are you going. Please enter your option number 1 for north, 2 for south, 3 for east and 4 for west. Scanf %d, comma ampersand sign ch, then switch ch within curly brace case north colon, printf say hello to the polar bears, break, case east colon, printf say hello to Tex the penguin, break, case south, printf if you go far enough east you will be west, break, case west, printf if you go far enough west you will be east, break, default colon, printf you have given a wrong choice, return 0 and close the final curly brace. In this example, the dir ctn type has been made global. The main function prompts the user which way are you going and then accepts the value of direction. As mentioned, enumerated values are converted into integer values internally by the compiler. It is practically never necessary to know what integer values the compiler assigned to the enumerated word in the list, but it may be useful to know the order of the enumerated item with respect to one another. Now, let us compile this program and execute it and see the result. You can see that which way are you going. Please enter your option number 1 for north, 2 for south, 3 for east and 4 for west. Suppose you are entering 3 as input, the system will give you the output as if you go far enough east you will be west. Suppose you again execute this program and given 1 as input, you can see that you will get output as say hello to the polar bears. And again suppose you execute and give input as 10, then you can see that the system output will be you have given a wrong choice. Now, let us move to the next program to understand the command line argument approach of C programming. In this program, we will see the basic concept of command line argument approach in C. This program basically reads different number of arguments as command line and print the entered strings one by one. Let us first see the algorithm. Step 1, read the arguments and total number of arguments. Step 2, check the total number of arguments passed by command line. If 1, then go to step 3, otherwise go to step 4. Step 3, print a message in the program at least one argument is required. Step 4, print the total number of arguments and the name of the program, then print all other arguments passed by command line. Let us now type this program. Hash include stdio.h, then main, the arguments will be int argc, char star argv square bracket, then start the curly brace, int I printf welcome to the program percentage s, comma argv 0. If argc equal to 1, then within curly brace printf no argument is supplied with the program, at least one argument is expected, then close the curly brace. Else start the curly brace, printf total number of arguments supplied into the program is percentage d, comma argc, then printf by default first argument is the name of the program percentage s, comma argv 0. Then for I equal to 1, I less than argc I plus plus, then within curly brace printf argument percentage d is percentage s, comma I, comma argv of I, then close the curly braces. Let me explain the program in detail. The command line argument programs are the best way when you want to control your program from outside instead of hard coding those values inside the code. The command line arguments are handled using main function. The general syntax is main int argc, comma char star argv. In this, the argument argc refers to the number of arguments passed and argv is a pointer array which points to each argument passed to the program. In the beginning of this program, we read the number of argument passed to the program, which is indicated by argc. If argc is 1, which means that no argument is passed to the program, and by default the argv 0 hold the program name. If the argc is 2, then which means that the only one argument is passed into the program and which is stored in argv 1. Also, in this case by default argv 0 contain the program name. In the next level, we use the for loop to print all the arguments passed into the program one by one. Let us consider several inputs and outputs of the program. Let us first compile this program, and if we not pass any argument into the program, then it gives the message no argument is supplied with the program, at least one argument is expected. We use the dot slash cmd lin to command to execute the program. The output is shown in the screen. You can see the output as welcome to the program. No argument is supplied with the program, at least one argument is expected. Now, suppose you again execute this program. If we pass 3 arguments to the program read the 3 arguments and save them into argv 1, argv 2 and argv 3. Then print the arguments one by one. Then the output will be welcome to the program. Total number of argument supplied into the program is 4. First argument is the name of the program, argument 1 is Appu, argument 2 is Sita and argument 3 is Raju. Thank you for watching this session. With this, we have completed the theory and practical sessions of this course. I wish you all the very best. Bye.